the edema decreases. Then this of more of periorbital location. These are all point towards renal edema. So they usually acute glomerulonephritis child present with just periorbital puffiness alone or entire body fluid accumulation like ascites, pedal edema. So that is called entire body fluid accumulation called anasarca, either periorbital puffiness or anasarca. Then with oliguria. So what is definition of oliguria in children? What is definition of anuria in children? What is definition of polyuria in children? This is homework for you. Go and read. Okay, it's all given in textbook. Okay, clinical discussion. In the exams, they will ask. Okay, so clinical percentage agent is one hematuria, another one is edema in the form of periorbital region or a anasarca and oliguria. Okay. So any other history they will give in a history of present illness? What are all the histories you will ask for in any child presenting with acute glomerulonephritis, like edema, like picture in renal edema? Okay, in this case, other than edema, hematuria, oliguria, what other histories you will ask?
Glomerulonephritis. Pharyngitis.
Okay, pardon me.
Pharyngitis history, sir.
Okay, good. Okay. Any history of sore throat? So what is the another system, most important system you will ask the history of sore throat? In your exams cases, history of sore throat is important. In other, which one?
CVS. Rheumatic fever.
Yeah, so rheumatic heart disease. So what is the causative organism?
Group A hemolytic, beta hemolytic streptococcus.
Yeah, group A beta hemolytic streptococcus. Okay, that will cause pharyngitis. That will cause
rheumatic fever.
Rheumatic fever. So acute rheumatic fever. Okay. So in streptococcus, they will have rheumatogenic strains, nephrogenic strains. Okay. So what are all the strains will cause a nephritic problem? So streptococcus infection in children usually produce pharyngitis. What is the clinical presentation? Pharyngitis. Okay. Then another clinical picture is skin lesions. They will also cause streptococcal pyoderma, or otherwise called impetiginous lesions, impetigo. Okay. Okay. So some strains will cause pharyngitis. Some strains will cause streptococcal pyoderma. Okay. So all pharyngitis strains, noted the point, all the pharyngitis of strains of streptococcus can produce both rheumatic fever and nephritic involvement, glomerulonephritis. But skin strains only produce agent, not rheumatic fever. Okay, please note this important point. All pharyngitic strains can cause both the things, rheumatic fever and rheumatic heart disease and glomerulonephritis. But skin strains only cause nephritis only, not cause rheumatic fever. Any strains you know? Anybody else? Nephritogenic strains?
1245. Nephrogenic is 45, 49.
So usually this is skin strain. Okay, M46 and all. This is skin strains. Okay. Pharyngitis strains? Yeah.
3, 4,
questions exams they will ask differently. Okay. So you just read it down. Okay. So history of other than hematuria, edema, oliguria, you always ask history of impetiginous skin lesions. Okay. So basis for asking this history is I already told. So okay, what is the other histories they will present other than edema, hematuria, oliguria, and history of skin lesions? What are all the other histories you will have in present illness? Any child presenting with edema, maybe
convulsions.
Okay, good. Okay, convulsions for what? So acute glomerulonephritis child, they will usually have examination. What is the important examination finding? General examination, anthropometry. What is the important anthropometric finding in AGN child? Or vitals? Sorry, vitals. What is the important vital sign they will have in AGN? What are the vitals you will check? Heart rate, respiratory rate, then temperature, then what is the other parameter?
Blood pressure.
Blood pressure. So they will usually have hypertension. Okay. Okay, respiratory rate also important sometimes. So what are all the vital signs alteration you will get in AGN child? In the heart rate, they will have tachycardia. Okay, they will have gallop rhythm in the form of setting of hypertensive cardiac failure. So if the AGN child presenting with hypertension, presenting with cardiac failure, they will have history-wise blood vessels இருக்கும். Then they will have tachycardia, gallop rhythm in heart rate. Okay. Then respiratory rate, they will have tachypnea or dyspnea. Then BP-wise, they will have hypertension. So this hypertension of AGN will cause many complications. One is hypertensive cardiac failure or hypertensive pulmonary edema or hypertensive encephalopathy. So history of seizures in AGN children or edema is important to rule out complication of AGN associated hypertension causing encephalopathy. Okay. So history of convulsions for hypertensive encephalopathy. So what is the other histories you will ask for hypertensive encephalopathy other than seizures? So only they will have seizures in any child, any adult or any child presenting with encephalopathy. So history of drowsiness or altered sensorium, history of visual disturbances. Okay, visual disturbances, photophobia or visual disturbances, convulsions. Then examination, they will have papilledema also in eyes, fundus. Okay, so these are the histories: altered sensorium, seizures, and visual disturbances. These are all the histories should ask for any child presenting with acute glomerulonephritis as a edema in children. You will ask these histories to rule out hypertensive encephalopathy. So what are all the other complications you will expect in AGN, acute glomerulonephritis? This is a post-infectious glomerulonephritis. Other than hypertension, hypertension will cause encephalopathy, then hypertensive cardiac failure. For that, you will ask history of dyspnea, orthopnea. Okay. Okay. History of dyspnea, orthopnea, or cough. History of cough, dyspnea, or history of cough, history of dyspnea, history of orthopnea. These are the all three histories for hypertensive cardiac failure or pulmonary edema. For all this, you will ask this history. What are all the other histories? Any other histories? Other than positive histories, what are the positive histories? Edema, hematuria, oliguria, hypertensive lesions. These are all the positive histories. To rule out complications, hypertensive complications, you will ask for seizures, altered sensorium, visual disturbances. For hypertensive cardiac failure, pulmonary edema, you will ask history of cough, history of dyspnea, history of orthopnea. Okay. What are any other complications you will get in hypertension of AGN? Then the seizures in the AGN is also due to. So what is the other complication of important complication of AGN other than hypertension? So electrolyte imbalance. So the form of hypervolemic state. Okay, edema, fluid accumulation, hypervolemic state will cause electrolyte disturbances. So which electrolyte will cause? Which electrolytes will rise? Which electrolytes will fall? You will have hyponatremia, hyperkalemia, and hypocalcemia. These are the electrolyte disturbances you will expect in any child with acute glomerulonephritis. One is hyponatremia, another is hyperkalemia, another is hypocalcemia. This hyponatremia, hypocalcemia can also cause seizures. So importance of seizures in AGN child is one is due to hypertensive encephalopathy as a part of acute glomerulonephritis or part of electrolyte disturbances. Okay. Any other history? Any other history of presenting illness you will ask in presenting illness? That's all. This is a All in closest DD for nephritis is nephrotic syndrome. In nephrotic syndrome, they will give the history of frothy urine. Okay, because the nephrotic syndrome, they will have massive proteinuria. In this nephritis, acute glomerulonephritis, they will have usually mild proteinuria, 1 plus or 2 plus only. In nephrotic syndrome, they will have massive proteinuria, so the urine macroscopically looks frothy. In macroscopically, urine in acute glomerulonephritis is red urine. Okay, in macroscopic examination of nephrotic syndrome, urine is frothy or smoky frothy urine. Okay, what is the reason for, what is the urine specific description of urine in acute glomerulonephritis? What is the history, you will ask to the attendants, mother? Red urine, other than red urine, what is? Oh, yes, very good. Coca-Cola, cola colored urine. Okay, cola colored urine history is most important. Okay, what is the reason for cola colored urine in acute glomerulonephritis child? Why does urine become cola colored? These are all the typically asked exam questions in your clinical examinations. What is the reason for cola color urine?
So the acid hematin.
Yeah, good, very good. So turning of acid hematin leads to the cola color urine. Okay, acid due to the acid hematin, presence of acid hematin in the urine. Okay. Okay, any other histories? Electrical disturbances, cardiac failure, then hypertension, encephalopathy. Okay, other than edema, in other system edema, you will ask what are negative histories to rule out other system edemas. So in cardiac edema, they will have usually dependent edemas. Okay, first they will have dependent edemas. So in older children, in pedal edema, in younger children, it is sacral edema. Okay, then they will involve abdomen, then facial puffiness. So usually order of edema is in renal, first periorbital, then other parts. In cardiac, dependent parts first, then other parts involved. Then hepatic edema, they involve first abdomen. Okay, they will present with ascites. Then they will have pedal edema, then entire anasarca or facial edema. Okay, so these histories will be asked. For liver causes, you will ask also for jaundice. Okay, for cardiac causes, other histories will be asked to rule out other causes of edema. Okay. Any other histories? Okay. This is the present illness. In the initial presenting with edema of AGN, you will all ask all these histories. Okay. So in examination, how do you describe an examination? Head to foot examination. So head to foot examination, if the child is conscious or oriented or drowsy, okay, this should be mentioned. Anemia, you should look for anemia. Why? What is the significance of anemia in AGN child? They will have hematuria. So what is the reason for anemia in AGN child is? One is blood loss in urine. So hematuria, due to they will have anemia. Then they will have the same state of hypervolemic state. So this leads to hemodilution. So you look for anemia. So anemia reasons, all the two reasons are for anemia is for this already mentioned. So okay, so look for anemia. Then head to foot. Child is periodic puffiness present, abdominal distension present, pedal edema present, child is dyspneic, child is tachypneic or not. These are all the head to foot examination points to be mentioned. Okay. Then also look for head to foot, look for healed impetiginous lesions or active impetiginous lesions. Okay. In head to foot examination, you look for all these things. Okay. Then anthropometry, always routine. Okay. Then vitals, look for already mentioned heart rate is tachycardia, gallop rhythm, respiratory is tachypnea. You should look for tachypnea. Then BP, you look for hypertension. Other things, temperature and all, they will usually normal. Okay. Okay. Then come to the system examination, abdominal examination. Okay, inspections, abdomen usually distended. What are all the findings you look for in inspection? Palpation, auscultation. So most important findings, abdomen is distended, abdomen is filled with fluid. Okay, edema. Okay, so you will have either fluid thrill or shifting dullness. In percussion, you always look for shifting dullness. In palpation, look for fluid thrill. Okay. Other systems. Ascites, usually they will have moderate ascites. In nephrotic syndrome, they will have gross ascites with fluid thrill maximum fluid, but in AGN, they will have moderate ascites only. Okay, usually they will have shifting dullness. Flanks usually full. Okay. Rui and all not heard in the AGN side. Okay. Then CNS system, if there is CNS affected, you are examined for the CNS examination. Conscious, oriental, focal neurological deficits, fundus examinations, any cranial palsy you look for. In CVS, look for tachycardia, gallop. That's all. In the respiratory system, you look for basal crepes, dyspnea, tachypnea. Okay. So usually this is the examination pattern in AGN child. Okay. How do you investigate of any child presenting with edema or AGN? So what are all the investigations you will do? Anybody?
Urine routine and microscopy.
Anybody? Students, please respond.
So urine analysis.
What are all the investigations you will do for children presenting with acute glomerulonephritis?
So urine analysis.
Yeah, okay. Urine analysis. What is the urinary findings you will look for in AGN?
Significant hematuria.
Okay. So you look for urinary RBCs. You should look for albumin, sugar, deposits. Okay. Most important thing for this case is you will look for urinary RBCs. Okay. So what's the other thing you look for in urine?
So white cells for.
Okay, sometimes white cells they will have. Then most important is RBC cast. So in cast wise, in nephritis, you will have RBC cast. Then in nephrotic syndrome, what is the cast? You will get in urine hyaline cast. Okay. Hyaline cast in nephrotic syndrome, RBC cast in nephritic syndrome. Okay. Massive proteinuria, 3+, 4+ proteinuria in urine in nephrotic syndrome. You will have 1+, 2+ protein in nephritic syndrome, acute glomerulonephritis. Okay. So in this context, sometimes they will ask you, it's a homework for you, go and read what is hematuria. So definition of hematuria. How many RBCs will be present in the urine? The most important is definition of hematuria. Okay, go and read. And it is centrifuge sample. What is the hematuria definition? Uncentrifuged urine sample. What is the definition of hematuria? It's both the things important. Okay. What is significant hematuria definition? Then significant hematuria. What is significant hematuria? Okay. So go and read. This is a homework for you. Then what are the other urine analysis you will do for any child presenting with renal edema to differentiate between nephritic syndrome and nephrotic syndrome?
Dipsticks.
What? Pardon me?
Dipsticks.
Yeah. We already told, no? Protein. Urine protein, you look in dipsticks, what you look for? Protein only. So it is a mild proteinuria or massive proteinuria. Mild means AGN. Moderate, massive means it's nephrotic. It's a dipstick. So urine protein estimation is a different type of estimation available. Okay, urine dipstick, you can see other many heat coagulation method. Many methods available to look for urinary protein. One is dipstick. Okay, we already mentioned. Any other thing?
ASO titer.
Okay. I'm asking in urine. First complete the urine, then you
Urine
proceed.
culture and sensitivity. Urine
Okay,
culture.
associated UTI. You always rule out any child with renal edema in even nephrotic syndrome and nephritis. You always rule out co-infection of UTI. E. coli and all is common. So good. Urine culture you will do. Any other urine examinations to differentiate between nephrotic syndrome and
Yes,
AGN?
but
What? Pardon me?
no, sir. I was about to tell for UTI, sir, not for nephritis.
Okay, then UTI over. Then next. What is the other urinary investigations you will do to differentiate between nephrotic and nephritic syndrome? Urine spot PCR. Okay, it's most important thing. Okay, urinary spot protein creatinine ratio. So, what is the picture in nephrotic syndrome? What is the picture in nephrotic syndrome? So, 0.222. This in nephritic syndrome range. It's only range between 0.2 to 2. Is probably suggestive of acute nephritic syndrome. So, more than 2 is suggestive of nephrotic syndrome. Okay, what is the other urine analysis you will do? Still, you want to differentiate between nephrotic syndrome and nephritic syndrome.
24-hour urine, sir.
Yeah, very good. 24 hours urinary protein, but it's very difficult, cumbersome procedure in children. Okay, it's only possible in adults. Very difficult to collect urine for 24 hours. Very difficult to collect in very young children and older children. It's very difficult. So anyway, sometimes they will ask. So okay, now you should not tell urine examinations first 24 hours urinary protein in renal system, nephrotic and nephritic. You should first tell urine protein examination. Look for hematuria, RBC cast, hyaline cast. Okay, deposits, urine culture, urine spot PCR. Still, you are inconclusive. You will advise urine 24 hours urinary protein. Go and read what is normal 24 hours urinary protein normal excretion. What is the protein pattern in urine acute nephritic syndrome, and what is the protein pattern in nephrotic syndrome. It's all given in textbook. Okay, these are all the urinary examinations. Okay, what will come to the serum blood. So, what are all the investigations to do the any child with renal edema in blood? So, one is already somebody told it is ASO titer. Specific for is nephritic syndrome. It is the most commonly due to post-infectious glomerulonephritis, PIGN. So, acute glomerulonephritis in children most commonly due to post-infectious. Among infections, Streptococcus group A organism is causing PIGN. Okay, other organisms than many other organisms available. Okay, these are all you usually ask in PG's questions. Okay, UG's usually Streptococcus you mention, strains you will mention. That's all. Other than this, I think they will not ask. But they ask, they will give the distinction for you. Okay. So, what are the other serum investigations?
Serum albumin, sir.
What?
For anti-DNA, anti.
Okay. So, ASO is mostly specific for pharyngitic strains. Okay. So, this anti-DNase is specific for skin strains. Okay. So, skin strains na anti-DNase, but then it's not available in our hospital setting. So, usually they will ask in the exams. So, anti-ASO means it is a more specific for pharyngitic strains. This anti-DNase is specific for skin strains. Okay. So, anti-DNase antibodies also. So, even in abroad, they will do. So, the Streptococcus contain many proteins, surface antigen, right? Okay. They will have complete antigen screen. They will do the complete antigen screen that are only commercially available kits are available. Okay, it's not needed for you, just information. Okay. In our hospital, they will usually do ASO titer. So, homework is what is the ASO titer? Elevation means how much elevation? Go and read the homework for you. ASO titer in children. Okay. So, then come to other blood investigations. What is the most important complication of acute glomerulonephritis in children other than hypertension, other than respiratory disturbances? Per se, renal system per se, what it will cause? Renal system per se. It will cause transient acute renal failure. Okay. So transient acute renal failure. So one of the complication of AGN in children. So you look for renal failure. What is the renal function you will do?
Serum creatinine.
Yeah, very good. Urea, serum, blood urea, nitrogen, urea and creatinine. Look for. They will do the urea creatinine. Look for renal failure. This will be your answer in exam. Okay. Then, in AGN, we will have the many electrolytes abnormalities. So I will do the serum electrolytes like serum, sodium. You will expect in AGN hyponatremia due to hemodilution. Then you will expect hypocalcemia in AGN. You will expect hyperkalemia. In the setting of renal failure, you will get hyperkalemia in AGN. Okay. Sometimes you will get acidosis also. Okay. In acute glomerulonephritis, you will get hyperkalemia, hyponatremia, hypocalcemia. Sometimes phosphate level also will be raised. Okay. Hyperphosphatemia plus acidosis. So, okay. So I will do the sodium, potassium, calcium, phosphorus, and if at all required, okay. So look for acidosis. Okay. So what are all the other investigations, blood investigation you will do other than serum electrolytes? So now come to the pathogenesis. So this investigation will relation to the pathogenesis. What is the pathogenesis of AGN? That is, I am asking post-infectious glomerulitis due to group B beta hemorrhagic streptococcus. What is the pathogenesis?
Molecular web.
Yes, simple. One line answer is molecular mimicry. This is the pathogenesis for also for rheumatic fever. So molecular mimicry. There may be the cross-reactivity between streptococcal antigen and glomerular surface antigen. So there is a formation of immune complex in serum that will deposit in the renal system. So that will deposition of this immune complexes will damage the renal system, use the injury or glomerulonephritis. So immunological, simply it is an immunological mechanism. Okay, this etiology is infectious agent, but it will produce injury through the immunological mechanism, right? Through the molecular mimicry. These are all the hypothesis only. Okay, exact etiology nobody knows, but this hypothesis only. Okay, it's a molecular mimicry. So immune complex. Okay, so how the immune complex is formed? They will consume complement also. Okay, so one of the most important serum investigations in acute glomerulonephritis due to streptococcus, you will do the serum complement level. Which complement level? Most commonly decreased?
C3. C3.
Yes, very good. So serum C3. Okay, what is the normal value? Anybody can tell? Serum C3 normal value, serum complement level, normal value in children. So usually up to 90. Okay, 90 and above is a normal value. In AGN, usually they will have 20, 30 and all. Okay. If it is less than 90, it is hypocomplementemia. So the complements, many complements available. Okay. C3, C4, CH50, C7, like, okay. In acute glomerulonephritis, due to post-streptococcus, specifically C3 will be low. Okay. This is the most important. Another blood investigation you will do in any child with renal edema of acute glomerulonephritis due to streptococcus etiology. Okay. Any other investigations in the blood? So, how do you differentiate between nephrotic syndrome and nephritic syndrome by doing the serum blood investigations? What are all the other blood tests you will do?
The serum albumin.
Very good work. So, hypoalbuminemia is a feature of nephrotic syndrome. Okay. Any other thing?
Cholesterol level, sir.
Very good. Hypercholesterolemia is a feature of nephrotic syndrome. Is not a feature of AGN. Any other thing? Serum proteins, serum cholesterol, lipiduria. Usually lipids we didn't check. We usually do in the blood only. Okay, hypercholesterolemia. Any other blood investigations you will do to differentiate between nephrotic and nephritic? Okay. So yeah, other tests. Okay. So blood test, that's all, I think, for me. Okay. What is the other investigation? We'll move on to the other investigations. Non-invasive
Throat swab.
investigation. Pardon me?
Throat swab. Throat swab.
Very good. Very good. So sometimes you will get do the skin scrapings. We will send for culture or throat swab also. So they are regarding sensitivity of diagnosing PSI, acute glomerulonephritis. Serology has a superiority over the culture. Okay, generally, what is the teaching? Culture is gold standard for any typhoid fever. You will do the culture is the gold standard. But here, throat culture has less sensitivity than the ASO titer. Okay, so sensitivity wise, ASO titer is more sensitive. Okay, so throat swab culture also will do. Okay, very good. Other things, non-invasive investigation, child presenting with anasarca, ascites. So you want to look for renal, kidney size, and what is the investigation you will do? Look for amount of fluid in the peritoneal cavity. What is investigation? Non-invasive investigation. You will do that.
USP abdomen.
Ultrasound. Very good. Ultrasonography, abdomen, and KUB region. Okay, kidney, urinary bladder, ureter, bladder. Okay, so look for renal size. Then look for corticomedullary differentiation. Okay, so usually in AGN they will have mild enlarged kidneys. Okay, so they will usually give it as RPD, renal parenchymal disease. In the AGN, we will do the clinical side. We will send the patient for ultrasound. They will give, there is a fluid in the abdomen. Then they will give kidney size is slightly enlarged. They will finally impression is grade 1 RPD, grade 1 renal parenchymal disease. This is a usual picture in AGN. Okay. So in ultrasound, look for fluid, look for other organs, liver, spleen. Then look for renal system enlargement. Okay. So ultrasound abdomen. Okay. So any other investigations? So I am talking about only the non-infectious, infectious cause of glomerulonephritis. Okay. Many other systemic diseases and systemic infections, many parasitic protozoal infections will also cause acute glomerulonephritis. Okay, these are all the for PGs. Just information. Okay, the most commonest is infectious post-streptococcal. Many other fungal, protozoal, and systemic diseases like SLE. Okay, Wood-Pasture syndrome. These are all also cause glomerulonephritis. Okay. In history, if at all they will present glomerulonephritis picture, like history of hematuria, history of oliguria, okay, with skin lesions, other than skin lesions, rash, erythematous rash in girl children, okay, girl children, and erythematous rashes in over the cheek, and the arthralgia. Why these histories are important? This is rule out non-infectious cause of acute glomerulonephritis in children. Okay. SLE. Okay. In female child, they will have malar rash. They will have acute nephritic picture like edema, hypertension, hematuria, everything is there. Okay. With the oliguria is there. Then they will have arthralgia. So multi-system involvement. Okay. So arthralgia, skin rashes with the renal involvement. You always think of SLE. Okay, like this many diseases available. Okay, if at all if you suspect in any AGN child, you suspect it's due to it's a non-infectious cause, probably of SLE of CTD, connective disorders, means you will do the other workup for connective tissue disorders. Okay, like baseline like CRP, ESR, other complement levels. Okay, other than C3 in SLE induced acute glomerulonephritis, usually C3, C4, and other complements will be decreased. Okay. Just have the information, that's all. Okay. How do you manage? Come to the management. Okay. How do you manage? The child presenting with edema, renal edema, you done the investigations. It is proven of that it is due to AGN. It's not a nephrotic syndrome. So how do you manage? Child is edematous. Generally, we advise bed rest. First and foremost is bed rest. Then child is edematous.
So monitoring BP.
Okay, BP should be definitely monitored. So usually they will have hypertension. So before that, one is bed rest. Next is fluid restriction. So child is renal involvement. So the child is having anasarca, edema, should restrict fluids. Okay, fluid restriction. Third is any system, any disease involving renal involvement, we always restrict salt also. So here it is no added salt. Generally, we advise 0.5 gram per day. Okay. So one is bed rest, second is fluid restriction, then salt restriction or no added salt. Then comes to the pharmacological management. What are all the pharmacological management you will do in AGN child? So child presenting with edema or anasarca with oliguria. So child is in hypervolemic state in AGN. Okay. You will use what is the diuretic you will use? Furosemide. Okay. 1 to 2 milligram per kg per dose. BD. Okay. It will reduce the hypertension also. It will reduce the hypervolemic state also. So by increases the urinary output. Okay. So 1 to 2 milligram per kg per dose of loop diuretic furosemide you will use. Okay. So then next come to the BP is not responding. You are monitoring the BP. Okay. So BP is not responding to furosemide. Then you will add the antihypertensive medications. So what is antihypertensive medication used in acute glomerulonephritis? Nifedipine, calcium channel blockers. Okay, 0.01 to 1 milligram per kg per dose. Okay, so calcium channel blockers, nifedipine also will use. Okay, so bed rest, fluid restriction, salt restriction or no added salts, furosemide, dose for what is the purpose of furosemide, then antihypertensive medications like nifedipine. Okay. Any other treatment available? If the child presenting with hypertension, encephalopathy, then hypertensive cardiac failure, then erectile abnormalities, that is different. So management should institute different management. Okay, this is the basic management. So what is the prognosis? Any diseases in children, we always prognosticate. What is the prognosis?
Very good prognosis.
Most important things, other thing is in treatment, other than this diuretics and furosemide and antihypertensive medications, you always treat that if there is active infections, you should treat the infection also. It is most important thing. Okay. Generally, we advise penicillin. The child having active impetiginous lesion means we will give the penicillin in the form of amoxicillin tablet. Sometimes, rarely, we'll use injectable penicillin antibiotic. Okay. For impetiginous lesions. Okay. That should not be forgotten. Very important thing. Okay. So, how do you prognosticate? So, generally, post-streptococcal. So, recently, what is the other name anybody has heard of for acute PIGN, acute post-infectious glomerulonephritis, otherwise called, generally, they clubbed under IRGN. Okay. Infection-related glomerulonephritis. The recent terminology used in nephrology textbooks. IRGN, infection-related glomerulonephritis. Okay. So what is the prognosis? Generally, acute glomerulonephritis due to post-streptococcal, group A beta streptococcal. However, 95% of children of AGN will recover. Okay. This hematuria, proteinuria, these are all hypertension, usually subside within a month. Okay, 1 month, within a month of your salt restriction, fluid restriction, glucosamine therapy, and antihypertensive medications. Generally, within a month, this hematuria, hypertension, proteinuria will respond. This complement level alteration usually present till 8 weeks, 2 months. Okay, this hypocomplementemia usually present for 8 weeks. That means 2 months. After 2 months, this complement level also become normalized. Okay. Still, 5% cases, 95% will recur. Still, 5% cases will go for nephrotic syndrome. Okay. For someone 100 cases of AGN, 95% will recover. Your management, with your management. 5% cases go for nephrotic syndrome. Some 1 or 2% go for renal failure that will become chronic kidney disease. Acute renal failure that will become chronic renal failure. This is very, very rare complications. Okay. 95% usually they will recover. Okay. So these are all the presentations, complaints, examination findings, clinical examinations, questions. Okay. Any doubts in this acute glomerulonephritis? These things enough for your undergraduates. Okay. Any doubts? Students, any doubts? Any queries? Hello?
No, sir. No doubts.
No. Okay. Okay. Okay, Pa. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.